video, I want to talk about why Pride Day is a holiday, apparently, and whether or not it should actually be part of RuneScape's holiday rotation. So Pride Day, if you aren't familiar, which I'm sure you are, because it's very much a holiday that gets forced down people's throats every year, is a day to celebrate the option, I guess, of having a same-sex orientation. And I guess, bisexual is also part of this, so it's not necessarily same-sex, but let's be honest, most, when somebody thinks of Pride Day, they're thinking of gay, not necessarily bi. Why can't I start this? So this is definitely, not a knock towards people who are gay or bi. I think it's a great thing that we live in a society where people can choose to bed whoever they want. But that's not the topic of today's video. The topic is, should it be celebrated in a RuneScape holiday context? The reason I believe it has no place in this game is because if you look at every other holiday that's celebrated, it doesn't fit. I mean, you've got Christmas, Halloween, traditional holidays, and then all of a sudden we throw in this Pride Day. And I question, why don't we have a Groundhog Day holiday in the game? Why don't we have a Black History Month in the game? These are just a few holidays that Jagex does not include, but they do include Pride Day. Now, obviously, that's not exactly the best argument to make. There's millions of holidays these days, so it's kind of unfair to say, oh, well, if you're going to support this, then why don't you support that? But I still think there's a place to argue whether or not something like that should be in the game. Now, I'm not too sure about the statistics of gay players in RuneScape. Maybe it's higher than I realize. But I venture to guess that there's also a fair number of people that are Black that play the game. Or Asian, even. There's Asian holidays. And so, although the argument of, oh, if you're going to support this, you should also support that, is not the best, I still feel that it just doesn't make sense for them to throw in a holiday that is likely a very small minority of the players. And also, I don't even think anyone asked for it. I mean, did anyone really wake up prior to Pride Day in RuneScape and go, man, I feel unaccepted in this game? I mean, maybe, but at least to me, it seems like a holiday that's very much forced into the game. Maybe, maybe someone higher up at Jagex is trying to make headlines. It's very easy to make headlines when you're one of the few MMOs that support Pride. Because honestly, I don't think I've heard of very many popular MMOs supporting Pride Day. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But it's certainly a good reason is to get into these news headlines. But I don't know where I'm going with this, other than I just feel that Pride Day does not belong in a virtual game where sexual orientation and race doesn't even matter, right? I mean, holidays like Halloween and Christmas, and I'm honestly not sure what else gets celebrated in this game, but these holidays are kind of irrespective of sex and race. And so they belong in the game in a way, because it's not assuming anything. And you know, these are well regarded holidays throughout the world. You know, I know not everyone celebrates Christmas and Halloween, but still, I feel there's no assumption being made on the player in those holidays, whereas with Pride, it's very much assuming, okay, you're either gay or you are okay with being gay. And you know, again, me personally, I do not have any strong opinion of gay marriage or anything of the sort, but I do know there are parts of the world that do not support it. And to me, having that in the game is kind of disregarding the cultures of countries that still don't support gay marriage, and maybe they have religious beliefs. And really, I think if you look at the big picture, right, the people that are positively impacted by Pride Day is much less than people who are indifferent or are negative towards the holiday. And you know, like I said, you know, there's a lot of different groups that play the game. You know, why don't we have a male day or a female day or Asian day or white day will never happen in the game, but you get the point, right? It's strange to include one idea but not the other. And I'll say this too, I mean, the rewards you get from these Pride days are they're kind of banging. I ain't gonna lie, actually. They do introduce some pretty cool items to the game with Pride Day. I think that's the one takeaway that I find to be beneficial to everyone. But yeah, I feel that, you know, as somebody who has been playing the game for a long time, you know, I started playing back in, I think 2006. Back then, you know, the idea of a Pride Day just didn't make sense. I mean, even if you did support gay marriage and all that, you still wouldn't think, oh, we should add this as a monument to the game. And I think, you know, RuneScape, it kind of does hold its values pretty strongly from its original culmination. And, you know, that's not to say that society doesn't change, and I forgot to fucking bank that, but that's not to say society doesn't change. I mean, it's like right now, a lot of people are kind of against AI taking over certain job roles, whereas, you know, fast forward 20 years from now, it'll be a whole different thought towards it. It'll be like, oh, you know, net positive, hopefully. I guess you can't really know without predicting the future, but you know, people's ideas do change over time, and I do think, you know, gay, bi, whatever, I think it's a lot more accepted in this day and age, which I think is a good thing. But the point I'm making is I just personally do not see it as a holiday that is necessary in this game. I think, you know, it's great that Jagex supports that, but I feel, you know, there's certain groups out there that have holidays and they're not being shown support. But that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, Jagex just doesn't like them, right? You know, just because Jagex doesn't have a, I don't know, Groundhog Day doesn't mean, oh, Jagex doesn't care about winter. Like, no one, in a way, you know, omitting the holiday kind of puts you in a position of neutral, right? I don't think anyone thought prior to Pride Day that Jagex was just anti-gay. But now that it's here, it kind of feels like, oh, Jagex is forcibly pro-gay. Like, everyone who plays the game needs to adopt their support for it. And I just don't think it makes sense. But I'm rambling a bit now. I just, you know, I see this holiday every year, and it just doesn't feel exciting. It kind of feels like, oh, okay. You know, people get excited about Christmas and Halloween, but Pride Day it's there, you know? It exists, and, you know, I know there's people that go out and have fun on those days. Maybe there's parades and whatnot, but I mean, it's kind of like a Memorial Day. Like, when Memorial Day comes around in the United States, people aren't jumping at the bit to celebrate it. They're not, you know, preparing meals, and I mean, maybe some families do, but for the most part, it's kind of just oh, it's a holiday. I guess I'll support it and celebrate it. Gets us the day off work, and but at the end of the day, no one's looking forward to that holiday. It's really one of those holidays that just comes up, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And that's how I feel like Pride Day is, at least to me. And you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people who are gay or bi see it as a monumental holiday. Maybe it is at the level of Christmas or Halloween to them, but you know, that's kind of beside the point. I just feel that in an MMORPG where, you know, you come to this game to just escape reality. You're not really looking for a political or cultural agenda being forced down. You're just wanting to log in, get some XP, and forget about all this society and political belief stuff. And you know, that's not saying that Pride Day is negative in that way. I don't think, you know, unless you're really anti-gay, it's not like you become upset at the idea of the holiday. But it kind of just reminds you, like, yeah, society's fucked up. We have to have a day specifically for gay and lesbian or whatever, just because society did such bad handling of it throughout time. And so we feel like we need a holiday to make up for it in a way. And you know, in reality, that's fine, but in an MMO, or again, you know, you're just going to escape reality. Do you really want a reminder of reality?